Hey everyone, welcome to the channel Thinking Theology. I'm Don. Today we're looking at, you saw the title, we're looking at John 10:30, and just a very brief look at this because it is one of the verses used in Trinitarian thought to sort of support the notion that there are three persons in the Godhead, they're distinct yet the same, and this verse is one of the ones used to support the notion, not of a Trinity, but that Jesus is one with God, and that would make him God. That's part of the way the argument goes. I and my Father are one. So that's one idea. Trinitarian ideology has put it out there that, see, this is Jesus' own declaration that he's God, he's one with the Father, and all this. Well, another explanation of that, which is a more reasonable one, is that I and my Father are unified. We work together. And in fact, John, the Gospel of John, is very consistent. The writer was consistent in representing Jesus and God as being unified in their work together, if you will. And we can look at John 17:31, for instance, and this is Jesus praying. This is reportedly Jesus praying. That's how it's written. So it puts into context how God and Jesus would be one according to the texts. And it says, that they may all be one, just as you, Father, are in me, and I in you, that they also may be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. All right, so if being in someone makes them that same being yet distinct, then the same thing would be said of believers, as people are commonly referred who believe in Jesus. But a more rational explanation, or a more identifiable and consistent explanation of what that word and term would mean, that word in the Greek is translated from the pronounced word en. And it is translated as the word in. It's also translated as the word with. So if we use the word with, and we're just as free as any translator or any scribe to use the word with, so that when you go read John 17:31 with the word with, it kind of puts a different take on it, easier, more readily identifiable understanding. And it says that they may all be one, just as you, Father, are with me, and I with you, that they may also be with us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. And that is supported by other verses as well, where like in John 14:20, a couple of chapters earlier, where it says, on that day you will know that I am with my Father, and you are with me, and I am with you. And that just sort of is something that you could sort of sink your teeth into according to the texts. And then we have other examples where this expression, where people are said to be one with another. And in this context, 1 Corinthians 6:16 refers to someone sleeping with a prostitute, that those two become one flesh. So that's just an expression of closeness with another being. And that's simply what Jesus, my take on it, and the text seem to reveal that Jesus was saying, I'm close to God, and he's close to me. He's put a stamp of approval on me. And then Jesus turns around and says, I'll put my stamp of approval on those who believe in me. So they become one with him. So it's just an expression of closeness. It wasn't designed to send us into some mystical, magical realm where there's indwelling interpenetration, and we go into all these convoluted ways to sort of produce this abstract notion that a human being is also God, which is also a very Greek notion at the time and a Roman notion at the time, where there were Greek gods, and even Paul says this in 1 Corinthians 8:6, where there are many gods and many lords. Then he says, but to us there is but one God, the Father. So he breaks it down pretty simply, but it was said against the backdrop of a polytheistic world, and it was also believed that the gods came down and dwelled with people and all this. But a more reasonable explanation is simply like, when you agree with somebody so closely, you're said to be one. Kind of simple. right? You're unified, in other words. So the less confusing explanation is preferred. And then if it does get more complicated down the road, and some things do get very complicated, the connections between the thoughts, there needs to be something that you can sink your teeth into. And if you still choose to believe something that is sort of mystical or magical, that's fine. As I said, I don't take a dogmatic stand on that. My big thing in life is kindness. But as far as looking at what is reasonable, there needs to be a connection between thoughts that's reasonable. Anybody can believe what they want. I have no qualms. That's not my take. That's not my position in life. But I do look at how the arguments are structured so that you can look and see, well, how do I want to stand in this? So I and my Father are one. To me, if anybody said that, whether it's Jesus or my next door neighbor said they were one with somebody, I would simply say they're just saying that they're in agreement. They're with each other. They're unified. We have the same ideas. So do with that what you will. I wish you well. Leave your thoughts. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video and keep thinking theology. Hey there, if you would like to read more in depth on the subject of Trinitarian, Unitarian dogma, the debate that has taken place over the millennia, I've published this book in 1998 titled Our Heavenly Father Has No Equals, and it's out of print, but I've since republished it to Kindle. Here's what the new cover looks like. The book that I published will elucidate the issues with Trinitarian dogma. That's the perspective that I come at it from in the book. So if you'd like it, you can get it on Amazon Kindle, and the link is in the description box below. So I wish you well in your journey, and hopefully this will help you along the way.